Okay, let's finish up with past tense or future tense for now. Okay, once again, whenever you are teaching about verbs, students need to know that the verb always tells you who did it, when it was done, and what the action that was done is. Or you could say who did the action, when the action was done, past, present, or future, and then what is the action that was done. Keep in mind that when you're translating a verb, it's only telling you who did it in a pronoun. It's either going to be I did it, or I will do it, you did it, or you will do it, he did it, or he will do it, it did it, or it will do it, she did it, or she will do it, we did it, or we will do it, or they did it, they will do it. Okay? So now, when it comes to the future tense, notice the pattern. The pattern is there is always an additional letter in front. Again, we're not discussing yet the Vava Hippo, which is important to discuss really right away. But for now, in the sense of this, let's go one step at a time. Notice, always in the front of the word, there is an added letter, and it is future tense. Sometimes, on top of there being a letter in the front, there can be letters in the back. One, two, three, four, five options. Okay, so always something in the front and sometimes something in the back. Versus the past tense, it's always in the back. These things you want to make super clear to your students. It should be something that doesn't trick them. Again, they need to know what the actual root is. In this case, once again, we're using the word shamar. And let's take a look at the actual patterns in future tense. There are four ways to say the future tense. You could say, I will, I shall, I should, I would. Those are all possibilities of the future tense. So, Eshmor, I will guard, okay, or I shall guard, and I will guard. Once again, you see it's looking towards the action, looking forward to the action. That's future tense. Aleph, a good way to remember that is that it's similar to the word ani, I. Okay. Now, if there's a tough in front, you see here tough, 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 tough. Similar to what we saw with past tense, those were all used besides for the T. Okay. So in future tense, if there's a tough in front, one of the possible translations is always you will. So tishmor is you will guard, masculine, singular. Tishmiri is you will guard, feminine, singular. Okay, let's write them. You will guard, and it's masculine, M, singular. Okay, and so now you will guard. This is the feminine singular. Okay, now let's continue. The next tough, Tishmor. Notice that Tishmor and Tishmor are the same. So this is one of the more complicated, confusing things because you can only know if it's you will guard talking about a man versus she will guard talking about a woman, one girl, based on the context of the pasuk. If the pasuk is talking about Batya or Yocheved or Sarah or Rachel or Rivka, then you know it's she will. If it's talking about Moshe Rabbeinu, so you know it's you will, not she will. Okay, so that's a little bit confusing, but nevertheless, it's doable. Tishmeru is you will guard, masculine plural. Then you've got Tishmorna, which has two possible meanings. It could be you will guard, feminine plural, but it could also be they will guard. Again, the only way that you'll be able to tell the difference between the two is um, based upon context. Nevertheless, Tishmorna has the meaning of you will guard. So you've knocked out four things just by knowing that the tough in front could be you will guard. The rest needs to be done through um, context. That Tishmor could be you will guard, and it could also mean she will guard. Aleph is like ani, I will guard. I'm one alone myself. Then we got Yishmor, which is just one small letter, the Yud. And if you could imagine, maybe this helps. It's like it has a yarmulke on, he will guard. Next, Nishmor is very similar to Nu. It's not exactly the same, which is why I didn't say it's exactly the same, but it's very similar to Nu, and it's we will guard. Then you've got the Tishmornas, which could be you will guard in the feminine plural or they will guard in the feminine plural. And then you have, similar to the Shamru, you've got the U in the back with the Yud in front, which the Yud again represents, so to speak, in this context, like we said before, a person with a yarmulke. Okay? A man with a yarmulke. So Yishmeru would mean they will guard, masculine plural. So once again, you see here that all of these words have a letter in front. It makes it future tense, keeping in mind that always these letters tell you two things: when the action was done, who did the action, then you have to be able to find the shorish, which is the actual action that was done. Not hard to remember because Aleph is like ani, the tufts in front are like ata. They all represent you will. Some of them have double meaning. Some of them could be like Tishmar could be she will guard. You could only know that in context. Tishmarna can have two meanings: you will guard or they will guard, feminine plural. Again, you would only really know that in context.